Thanks again for coming out. And I was talking to some people during dinner, and a couple of things struck me. There are some really, really, really good people in this room. And if I miss anything about my job, it's the connection I have with the incredible sports community of the Capital. And it's nice to see so many of you here tonight. And it's nice to hear your stories again, see your faces, and be together. So thank you for coming out. We have a keynote speaker tonight, and probably don't have to introduce him, but I will anyhow. One of those athletes who came to the Capital, like so many, chasing their sports dreams, and ended up staying here because this is such a wonderful community. Chris Phillips grew up in Lethbridge, Alberta, became a star in the Western Junior League, first overall pick in 1996 in the NHL draft, taken by the Ottawa Senators. When he got here, he never left. He played nearly 1,200 regular season games, all of them in Ottawa, the most in franchise history. A solid, steady defenseman who had some of his biggest moments at playoff time. His number 4 now hanging from the rafters at the Canadian Tire Centre. He had a wonderful career in hockey and a pretty good career outside of hockey, a beautiful family and businesses, and now working with the Ottawa Senators. He launched Big Rig, one of our sponsors tonight. He's returned to Ottawa Senators, the family, as the team's vice president of business development. He is a classy guy, he's a steady guy, and they don't make them much better than that. Chris Phillips.
For starters, that was tough timing. The dessert showed up just as they told me to come up here, so guys just hang off for a few minutes till I get back, or save me some. Good evening and welcome to the Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Tonight we welcome 5 new very deserving people that have left their mark on the Ottawa sports community. Congratulations to all the inductees, not only for being recognized for your high achievements, but also for your dedication to helping grow your prospective sports and mentoring aspiring young athletes. As a proud member, and on behalf of all the past inductees, I would like to welcome our 5 new members tonight. On behalf of the management team of the Ottawa Senators, some of whom are here tonight, we are very happy and excited to have the sale process of the team behind us. Michael Andlauer, along with the partners, many of them are part of the local community, are your new ownership group. They're very focused on re-engaging with the business community, the fans, grassroots programs, as well as charitable initiatives alongside the Community Foundation. There are a few messages that I wanted to share with you all, as there are many influential people in sport in attendance, as well as many parents of young athletes. Outside of the Wayne Gretzky's, Michael Jordan's, or Al Sharon's, most athletes on top of their game are somewhat close in talent. What sets them apart is their character. I can tell you all of these inductees tonight were elite in their field, but it's the character that really helped them excel. The character played a huge role in my success as well. For starters, I owe all of that to my parents and my upbringing. When I was drafted first overall in 1996, scouts, media, they were all talking about my character, which clearly helped me out. But I was also a little bit like, I'm not a bad hockey player either. So fast forward to 2018, the Senators gave me the great honor of retiring my jersey. What they mentioned most was my character and what myself, along with my wife Erin, did in the community, which we're very proud of, by the way. But I still had to tell my kids, yeah, Dad, he wasn't a bad hockey player either. I can't speak highly enough of what I believe to be the power of sports and the life skills you gain. It goes far beyond the wins and losses. It's friendship, communication, overcoming adversity, how to deal with stress, and also how to empower it. The resilience, work ethic, teamwork, respect, staying humble when you win, and keeping your head held high when you win. If you think about all of those for a moment and realize how all those attributes are true in life as well. For me, it was sports that helped me be successful in business and also prepare me for now management position with the Senators. If I can leave you all with one last message, I know there are many influential people here involved with a particular sport or have a child that plays. Please, let them be athletes. Let them be athletes. Encourage them to play multiple sports or try new sports. It might not be one that you played, but it's okay. Maybe it's music or art. I can tell you, I love watching my kids grow up and they played hockey, baseball, sports that I played when I was young. But, a couple of sports that I enjoyed most was the girls playing field hockey or my son playing lacrosse. I had no idea about the rules of those sports, never played them when I was young, and it made me just enjoy being at those events and watching them so much because I just saw the joy that it brought them. I wasn't not being critical, making sure that they, worked hard, had fun, and that really at the end of that was all that mattered. It just helps them become so well-rounded, and they're going to find their own dreams. When hockey season ended for me, I couldn't wait for baseball season to begin. And when the fall rolled around, I was excited for hockey to begin again. And truth be told, baseball was my first love. If you're a coach or in administration, find a way to encourage multiple sports, no matter what level you are at. I played AA hockey my entire life, never played AAA. If you're good enough, they're going to find you. There's lots of time. If you're not playing AAA or at the top, whatever sport it is, when you're 8, 9, 10 years old, there's still lots of time just to get out, play, enjoy it, have fun. And I know from experience that if they're enjoying it, they're going to push themselves. You don't need to push them. They're going to get out on, the baseball fields and just play scrub. They're going to get out on outdoor rinks and just go play because it's fun with their buddies and there's no structure. And I'm speaking from experience. That's where I probably learned my most skills from doing that non-structured sports. And I know, the world changes, everything changes, but, just let the kids grow up, let them be athletes, and they will be rewarded, whether it's in their sport, whether it's in life. I was talking to someone when I first got here and mentioned them that I'm VP of business operations now with the Senators, and I think they were a bit surprised of, did you need to go to school? Where did you learn the skills to do what you're doing now? And for me, it was, in the dressing room, playing sports, learning all those things that I just mentioned, makes you grow up and give you those tools and skills that I'm using now. And they weren't in a classroom, they weren't from a professor, they're, kind of on the job and being able to talk to people and handle different situations. And you learn so much from that and so much from sports. I'm so excited to be here tonight to talk about that. I hope you all listen to that. I hope you pass it on, that it means a lot to me, and how I grew up, how I've portrayed that onto my own kids, and some of the things that I see going on in minor sports, to be honest, is hard to watch. You know, I tell parents, you had your time. You know, now it's the kids' turn, and just let them play, let them enjoy it, whatever it is, and you'll be far better off for it. That's enough from me. Enjoy your night. Thank you all for coming, and thanks for this opportunity.
That's not going to work. These tall people. You forgot to mention, Chris, you're also pretty big. Like, I could have had a career like yours if I had another 6 inches, 8 inches, a little bit of talent, a little bit of character. I could have been there. Thank you, Chris. That was a terrific message, and as people who are part of the sports world, and there are some older people here like me, you've seen a lot of the bad in sports, and I think we're seeing tonight a lot of the good in sports. People who have grown up playing sports, playing different sports, and understanding how important it is to diversify and just go out and have fun. And if somebody's good enough, they're going to make it. So thank you, Chris. We have our silent auction items over there, and I haven't told our people here, but I'm gonna throw an extra. We're trying to. The Sports Hall of Fame is. We don't have a whole lot of money. Everything's on a shoestring, pretty much. You can't tell tonight, but it's not a rich organization. One of my retirement projects was co-writing a book called "Hockey Moms: The Heart of the Game," and we went out and we interviewed the mothers of hockey players, the hockey journey through the eyes of moms, and it is a national bestseller, so thank you. I've got 4 copies of the book I brought along, and if anybody wants one autographed, $20, $25, whatever you want to give, and I'll donate the money back to the Sports Hall of Fame. So if anybody wants to see me after, I'll have a book for you and sign it. And some of the moms we talked to, Brady Tkachuk's mom, and Chris talking about diversifying, and Chantal was talking about their daughter who was a terrific soccer player, and one day came home and said, I don't want to play soccer anymore. And she said, fine, if you don't want to play soccer, don't play soccer. Finish the year and figure something else. And she played U.S. college in field hockey. And that's the kind of thing that Chris is talking about. You got to find your sport, and you have to encourage, and we're just there to encourage. So if you haven't read the book, it's probably not a bad read, because I think for me it was pretty insightful to talk to dozens of moms and hear their stories and hear what they did behind the scenes. Everybody talks to the dads, nobody talks to the moms. So I'll have, after this, you want to see me, I'll have a book for you. Tonight, the Ottawa Sports Hall of Fame is inducting individuals who've changed the face of sport in our city. In their own special ways, they undertook challenges many thought were not possible. They overcame adversity, and they assisted in changing the sports landscape and heritage of this great city. Our first inductee is being inducted in the category of builder, and that person being inducted, Carol Ann Chenard.
Carol Ann Chenard has excelled in a number of sports. First, as a short track speed skater, she won 6 World Cup medals for Canada, and for a while her team held the world record in the 3,000-meter relay. After speed skating, it was soccer. She's now recognized as one of the top soccer officials in the world. She's officiated at 2 Women's World Cups. In 2016, she called the Women's Olympic final in Rio. Carol Ann was absent from the 2019 World Cup as she underwent treatment for breast cancer. She was back 4 years later and served as a video official at the Women's World Cup. Caroline Chenard is now a mentor for the next wave of soccer referees. She's officiated numerous Major League and National Women's Soccer League matches, and she has called plenty of matches on local pitches too, where she got her start in Gloucester.
Please welcome Caroline Chenard. We'd ask Chris Phillips to come up, please, to hand out the award.
Thank you, everyone. I'm regretting the font size I chose after 2 glasses of wine with supper. So first of all, thank you. I'm really honored. Too low? Okay. Oh, perfect. Perfect. I'm really honored to be part of this group, so thank you to the committee and congratulations to all of this year's inductees. For me to have had the career that I've had as long as it has, it's taken a lot of people to support me and to get me here. So there's far too many people to mention tonight, so forgive the exclusions, but I'm going to try and focus on some of the people who are here tonight. So being a fan of a referee is not an easy job, and I'm lucky to have been supported by some of the best referee fans that I could ask for. So I'll start with my family. So both of my parents were high-level officials in their own right, and they volunteered more time than I have to make sure that athletes and officials and organizations across this country were supported. Their support was unwavering when I switched from being a traditional athlete to my role as an official. I can still picture my dad in his Tilly hat, sneaking up to the field once I blew the first whistle. He always had his own opinions of my calls, and he loved to sit in the stands amongst all of the people who yelled the loudest at me. Now, my mom, on the other hand, made sure that everybody knew that she was the mother of the referee, so that hopefully people wouldn't yell as loud. Both pushed me in their own way, and for that I am extremely grateful. I am also grateful that they still allow me to show up for supper twice a week so that I can get everything done in my week that I need to get done. So thank you very much. My sister Christina is always the one to amplify all of my accomplishments. But not only my accomplishments, all of the messages and all of the articles that are published about me, even the ones that I don't want to read. So she makes me be or seem much cooler than I really am. So I'm really thankful for the 3 of them, so thank you very much. I'm also surrounded by a very strong tribe of friends, many of whom are here tonight. They are strong, they're fun, they're funny, and they're extremely supportive. I'm lucky to have them in my life, always keeping things interesting and forgiving me when I miss big events in their life because I'm away working as a referee. The only people who understand what it's like to be a referee on the field, making really good decisions, or every once in a while blowing a call, are other referees. I've been really lucky to have made many friends that have supported me throughout my career, also during my cancer diagnosis, from around the world. But the Ottawa referee community is very strong. Whether it's coming out to watch a game to give me feedback, train with me, celebrate our successes together, or reaching out when things get difficult. So thank you. I'd also like to thank Canada Soccer, the Ontario Soccer Federation, the Eastern Ontario District Soccer Federation. Specifically from the Canadian Soccer Association, I'd like to thank Joe Guest and Isaac Raymond. Canada Soccer has always been there to make sure that I have the games that I needed to be ready for whatever event I had coming up. And it's not often that referees are included on a billboard campaign alongside the athletes like we were this year for the Women's World Cup. It was a bigger picture of my face than anyone needed to see, but I'm still very proud of it. And I'd like to thank everybody from that perspective. And like Chris, I'd like to leave you with a couple last thoughts, given the number of parents, coaches, and administrators in the room. The hardest games that I had as a referee were not my games in front of 70,000 fans or a final of an Olympic Games. They were when I was a young referee on the local park, trying to manage parents and adult coaches. I could hear everything that was said, and it all felt very personal. We are facing a critical shortage of officials across all sports. Recognize that young referees are learning and they're developing just like the players are. Take a referee course to better understand the laws, to understand the rules of the sports that your children play, or volunteer as an official, and don't be a bystander when there's referee abuse. And as leaders, I also ask that you make an effort to increase representation. I am where I am today because a local team wrote to my provincial association to tell them that they thought that I had talent. I was given games based on my performance, not based on the fact that I was a female. But you have to take risks, make conscious decisions to make your sport inclusive so that people can see themselves represented and they can see the different pathways that are available for them to be involved in your sport. So thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you, Carol Ann. Like I said, we've got some pretty terrific people in this room. Our next inductee, and I'll get ready for the tape. We're good. It's like old TV days. Our next inductee, not able to be with us tonight, battling some health issues, and please keep him in your thoughts tonight, is Murray Costello.
Murray Costello played 4 seasons in the NHL in the 1950s. His biggest impact came after his playing days. Murray spent nearly 2 decades in charge of the Canadian Amateur Hockey Association, now Hockey Canada. He was a key figure in international ice hockey for another 14 years. Murray used his platform to influence positive change in hockey. He set up screening programs and background checks in minor hockey. He spoke out against bullying and helped inspire the amazing growth in women's hockey during his leadership. Murray Costello is a member of Canada's Sports Hall of Fame, the Hockey Hall of Fame, the IIHF Hall of Fame, and the Order of Canada.
Accepting the award tonight on behalf of Murray is the chair of the Ottawa Sports Hall of Fame, Dave Best, and we do have some words that Murray sent in. I'll read them to you. He said, "I'm sorry I'm unable to join you on such a special event. I'm honored to be recognized and thank you very much. This recognition means a lot to me because this city means a lot to me. It's where I finished my studies in law, raised a loving family, and had a great career. It's where I found and enjoyed a strong and supportive community. It's my home, and there's no place like home." That from Murray Costello. All right. Our next inductee is in the building tonight, and our next inductee in the builder category, a great in curling, Earl Morris.
The curling roots run deep in Earl Morris's family. His grandfather Cliff skipped a team at the Briar, so did Earl, and so did Earl's son John, the only 3-generation family to have that honor. Earl crossed the country as a member of Canada's military and was a Briar skip for teams in Manitoba, Quebec, and Ontario. Ottawa has been his home since 1983. After his competitive days ended, Earl Morris moved into coaching, a role he's found even more rewarding than playing. He's one of the most successful coaches his sport has known. He's coached many of the world's best, including Rachel Homan, Jennifer Jones, and his son John. His body of work has earned him a place in the Canadian Curling Hall of Fame.
Please welcome to the stage Earl Morris, one of the best. And handing out the award is another Hall of Famer, Al Sharon.
I think that's pretty good. Let me just test it. Hurry hard. Yeah, I think it's okay. I was going to stand in my tiptoes being next to Al Sharon, but I don't think it was going to make much of a difference, so I just stood on that flat feet, that's for sure. Hello, everyone. If I'm not the luckiest guy in the whole world, I'm tied for first place with whoever else feels the same way. It starts with being Canadian. It starts with either having been born here or choosing this great country of ours, because I've always felt we are the greatest country in the world. And when you come to a function like tonight with so many great Canadians here, it certainly makes me feel very, very good. And when I look at good luck, and I say to myself, yes, being a Canadian is great, but also to have chosen the city of Ottawa as our home 40 years ago. I'm a prairie boy. My wife is from Alberta. I'm from Saskatchewan. We moved around in the military, and we came to Ottawa, and very shortly thereafter, it really felt like home. And so we were quite happy to stay here, and so it feels extra lucky to be receiving an award in the city that you've chosen to be your home. For most people who are involved in sport, when you ask the question, how did you get started? The reply is often, well, I turned on the TV and the Olympics were on, and I saw someone do something amazing for Canada, and I was hooked. And for young kids, the next day or shortly thereafter, that young athlete makes a commitment to sport, and often to high-performance sport. So there's nothing like TV and the Olympics to get people started. Certainly it's how our son John got started, who was the two-time Olympic gold medalist in curling. For me, it was different. I was brought up by my grandparents in a small town in Saskatchewan. Never did meet my real father. We were dirt poor. If we wanted to read stuff other than school books, we would go out and visit the town dump and look for books and magazines that others had thrown out that we would have something to read, or maybe I could do a project on it. We had no TV and would hover around the radio to find out what was going on. The most precious gift my grandparents gave me was unconditional love. They always made me feel like I was the most important or best kid in the world. And sort of as a coach, I always remembered those things and tried to sort of carry that on to my athletes. Even though, as a kid, I shoplifted, I drank beer underage, and asked a girl out who was in grade 9 when I was in grade 7. For the record, she said no. But the next precious thing my grandpa gave me was his love for sport, for curling. Like every small town in the prairies, we had a curling club. It was like the community center. And Grandpa was a champion curler who won the Saskatchewan Championships before I was born. I just wanted to point that out in case you all thought, as the oldest guy in the room, that I might have been around since 1933 when he won the Saskatchewan Championship. I was born in 1945, which still probably makes me the oldest guy in the room. About the same time that my grandpa introduced me to curling, my grade 7 teacher organized a bonspiel. And you know, it's amazing how much influence teachers have on youth. And this was a very good example. I hadn't played it up until then. He organized a bonspiel. I won a prize and I was hooked. And I remain as passionate about curling today as I did back in grade 7. And when you reflect what it is that attracts you to sport, for me, it's the people in curling who make it so amazing, because people from all walks of life like to curl. Our champions have included plumbers and firefighters and teachers and physicians and beer store employees and military personnel and golf pros, and the list goes on, because those of you who understand curling know that every great curler has to sacrifice careers and works part-time or works seasonally, whatever they need to do in order to play and try to win medals for Canada. Wayne Gretzky's favorite sport when he wasn't playing hockey was watching curling. So, you know, there is that opportunity. If there are some older hockey players here getting a little tired of beer league hockey, come on over to the Ottawa Curling Club. We'd like to have you and show you the game. And the other aspect that has always intrigued me about curling is Canadians are so good at it that we always have chances to win medals at the Worlds. So that combination of lots of great people who have high performance aspirations are the kinds of things that attracted me to the game. And so I'd like to say thanks to the Canadian Curling Association, represented here tonight by their CEO, Danny Lamoureux, for giving me the opportunity to coach at high levels and help great athletes like John Morris, our son, and world champion Rachel Holman, both proud Ottawa citizens who have had many podium victories. I started out by saying how lucky I am, and how that good luck continues this evening, of course, because of this induction in the city that we have made our home. And I was going to say, if he was here tonight, thanks to His Worship Mayor Jim Watson when he was the mayor, because he was a real good supporter of curling, and we really appreciate it. But I must admit, I felt very badly for him near the end. What a trifecta to finish off with. LRT, COVID, and the Freedom Convoy. Well-deserved happy retirement to Mayor Jim. But the best of luck of all is receiving this award in front of family and friends. And I would like to mention a special friend here tonight, Stan Banville. Stan, would you wave to everyone? Very well known in the Ottawa community, great volunteer, great fan of hockey and fastball and many other sports. I've also got 3 buddies here that I served with in the military who are involved in high-performance athletes as well. So Daryl, Roy, and Bill, thanks for being here. And also to our daughter Sarah and her family, and Marie and family, thank you for being here. It means a lot. And last but not least, to my wife Maureen, thank you so much for your love and support through all these years. Thanks very much.
Pretty impressive list of people you've coached. But didn't you said you would take me out and give me a lesson, didn't you, Earl? You could add that to your list of winning a, I don't know, some crappy seniors spiel. You could take credit for that. Congratulations, Earl. Continue with our inductions now. Our next inductee is unfortunately not able to make it. She is a boxing coach and she's over in Hungary right now. But our next inductee is boxing great Jill Perry.
Jill Perry has strong memories of the first time she set foot in a boxing ring at the storied Beaver Boxing Club. She felt a little intimidated at first, but stayed with the sport that in many ways has defined her. She ended up fighting 57 bouts and won almost all of them. She won many provincial championships and twice was a national champ, the last national championship coming at age 39. From there, Jill dove headfirst into coaching. She eventually took over from her mentor, the late Joey Sandulo, to run the Beaver Boxing Club. She's also a leader at the national level of her sport.
Congratulations to Jill Perry, and representing Jill from the Beaver Boxing Club and up to say a few words, please welcome to the stage Kevin Orange.
That'd be great. Thank you so much. I get commission on this. Yeah, I'll pay you. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and fellow sports enthusiasts, tonight I have the incredible honor of standing before you to accept an award on behalf of a remarkable individual, Jill Perry. We gather here to celebrate the induction of a true boxing legend into the Ottawa Sports Hall of Fame. Jill's journey into the world of boxing was nothing short of extraordinary. At the age of 28, she took her first steps into the Beaver Boxing Club, where she was greeted by the intimidating world of boxing. But what set Jill apart was her determination and her passion for the sport. She not only embraced the challenge, but excelled beyond her wildest dreams. Over the course of the next 11 years, Jill competed in countless bouts, consistently emerging victorious. Her dedication and love for boxing only grew stronger with each passing day. 3 years after she first set foot in the gym, she stepped into the ring for her very first bout with her club in Little Italy. In 2005, Jill attended her first national championship and proudly took home a bronze medal. That experience fueled her spirit, and she knew she had to return the following year to claim the ultimate prize. And she did just that, winning her first national title in the women's 57 kg category in 2005. But Jill wasn't content with just one victory. She repeated her success in 2006, making history as the oldest boxer to win nationals at the age of 39, shortly before her retirement. What's truly remarkable about Jill's journey is her dedication to the sport beyond her own achievements. She started as a student under the guidance of our legendary coach, Joe Sandulu, a fellow Hall of Famer, and she later stepped into her mentor's shoes, taking the reins as the head coach of the Beaver Boxing Club. Her impact extended not only locally, but also provincially, nationally, and even internationally, as she continued to coach the next generation of boxers. Jill Perry's story is one of passion, perseverance, and leadership. She has not only left her mark in the ring, but also in the lives of countless young athletes whom she's coached along the way. She's a true inspiration to us all. On behalf of Jill Perry, I want to express our heartfelt gratitude for this recognition. We thank the organizers, the Ottawa Sports Hall of Fame, and each one of you for being here tonight to honor a woman whose dedication to boxing has made a lasting impact. In closing, I leave you with a quote that encapsulates Jill's journey. It It's not about the size of the fighter. It's about the size of the fight within. Jill Perry embodies that spirit, and we are proud to celebrate her induction into the Sports Hall of Fame. Thank you, and may Jill Perry's story continue to inspire us all.
Congratulations, Jill Perry, who unfortunately can't be here. And I interviewed Jill many times, and I was always touched by how many young people in our community she helped mentor. And I mean, that's what it's all about. If you've got experience, you've got something to offer, give it back. And she did in spades. So congratulations to Jill. Our final inductee, and I've known this guy literally since we were kids. I remember in grade 5 at St. George's School, and one of the classmates, it was a 5-6, so Timmy's a little older than I am, but they made a huge bloody deal of Timmy going away and winning some hockey tournament. I was a real crappy hockey player. I was really jealous, but Timmy back then was an outstanding hockey player and one of our new inductees into the Ottawa Sports Hall of Fame, Tim Higgins.
Tim Higgins was born and raised in Ottawa. He was a junior star with his hometown Ottawa 67s, then went on to play more than a decade in the NHL. In Pee Wee hockey, Tim played for the Ottawa Juniors 67s, a team that played more than 100 games and never lost. 4 members of that team, including Tim, went on to play in the NHL. In 1978, he was the 10th overall pick in the NHL draft, taken by Chicago. He made his NHL debut that same year. He was a solid two-way player who played more than 700 NHL games and tallied more than 350 points. After his playing days ended, Tim Higgins spent nearly 2 decades as a scout and coach, including time as an assistant coach under the legendary Brian Kilray in the Ottawa 67s. But maybe his biggest impact post-hockey were the many years he spent as an addiction counselor.
Please welcome to the Ottawa Sports Hall of Fame, Tim Higgins.
Test. That's good. You got me. I would like to thank the committee for this honor and congratulate the other inductees on this very special evening. Ottawa is my hometown, and it's a beautiful city, and I'm lucky and proud to call Ottawa my home. I grew up in Westboro, which has everything to do with who I am. This night would not be possible without the people I'm grateful to. I walked into the building tonight and I met a gentleman, and his name is Rick Desclouds. And Rick was my very first coach in house league hockey at the old Lions Arena. I would not have had him on here if he hadn't have been here. Thanks for being here, Rick. I'd like to thank the Ottawa West Hockey Association. I was fortunate enough to have Ernie Layton, our team manager, and Ron Palmer as a coach. These 2 people were with me from the beginning, Pee Wee hockey through to midget hockey. They were instrumental in my development as a hockey player. We simply went around winning hockey games, 113 games one year without a loss. This is where I formed my dream to play in the NHL. This became my goal. I spent 4 years as a teenager playing for my hometown Ottawa 67s. Several of my teammates went on to play professional hockey, and we were always one of the top teams in the OHL. In my 4 years in the league, we were one of the powerhouses of the OHL. I want to thank my teammates to a man. One person stands out above the rest. I was under the guidance of the greatest coach I ever played for, Brian Kilray. He was my coach, but more than that, he was a father figure. He was a true friend, and every year I spent playing for Brian, my dream started to become a reality. Thank you, Brian, for being here. I played on 3 NHL teams, Chicago for 6 years, New Jersey for 2, and my last 3 were with the Detroit Red Wings. As well as I got to spend another 15 years scouting for the Ottawa Senators, 6 years. And when I started scouting with the Ottawa Senators, we had a piece of paper. We had no players, and we were a brand new franchise. So I'm very blessed to given that opportunity, and I thank the Senators for that. I got to go back to Chicago and scout for another 12 years with the Blackhawks. And it just so happened they were in a rebuild, and I got to draft some of the players that ended up winning Stanley Cups for the Chicago Blackhawks. People have been asking me what this honor means to me. This is a legacy for my family. My biggest supporters were my mother and my father, who never pressured me, who never missed one of my games while I was playing in Ottawa. My whole career, my mother kept meticulous scrapbooks of every article and every photo that was available. I still have them. I know that my mother and father are looking down from heaven and are very proud of this day. I would not be here without my family. My older brother, Charles, who recently passed, was a huge support to me throughout my career. I know that he is looking down with Mom and Dad and are extremely proud of this moment. I miss you, Bud. To his wife, Kathy, and his son, Brendan, thank you for being here. Kathy, my only sister, you put me on skates at the age of 1.5, took me to the corner field at the end of the street, which was flooded and iced over the winter. You held my hand and taught me how to skate. It all began with you, Kathy. Kathy's husband, John, their daughters, Ann and Karen, are here. Thank you, sis, and thank you, family. My brother, Pat, my closest brother. We competed in everything we did growing up. You pushed me in all the ways I needed to become the best capable player I could. Your unwavering support for me over my entire career is something I am truly grateful for. Thank you, Pat, and his wife, Lorraine, for being here. My wife, Jane, was my high school sweetheart. She was there for me from the days of the 67s throughout my whole NHL career. Not an easy task, raising 3 daughters in 3 cities with 3 teams. She was my rock and a huge part of my life. She was there for me in good times and in hard times. Jane recently passed, but she lives through our 3 beautiful daughters. Lauren, born in Chicago, Kristen, born in New Jersey, and Kelly, born in Detroit. I'm so happy to be able to share this honor with you tonight. Thank you for being here with me. You girls are my treasures, my everything. I am blessed to have you, your children, and your husbands in my life. Mark, Matt, and Taylor, you boys are like sons to me, and I thank you very much for being here. My grandchildren, my greatest pleasures today are attending any activities that my 7 grandkids are involved in, be it school or sports. They're always with me. Riley, Hallie, Thomas, Patrick, Ronan, Brooklyn, and Hayden. You guys keep Papa young and keep the fire in my soul. I would like to express my gratitude to several people whom without their efforts I doubt I'd be standing up here right now. Dave Schreiber, you never stopped using your voice and backed me for years and years to make sure I got up here. Jim McCauley, you constantly reminded people of my stats and that I belonged here. To John Stanton, a true friend, a travel partner who promoted me endlessly. To Terry Marcotte, a media icon, your kindness to me I will always be grateful for. I look around the rooms and I see tables filled with many people who have contributed to this moment. I see all of you, and I'm very grateful for your support. Pat Delahunty, my friends in recovery, you mean so much to me, and thank you very much for being here. The Ottawa 67s table, the Senators, the Ottawa European Sports Clubs. You guys, thank you very much for being here. To Larry Kelly, who represented me and guided me for 11 years. Thank you for being here, Larry. To Brian Kilray, my friend, thanks again for everything. I'm very pleased to have a partner, Marita Jane, here to share the evening with me. Thank you. Go figure, I got a page mixed up. As I look around, I'm in awe. And the people celebrating with me, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you for being here and being part of this great evening. I'm very blessed. To the great city of Ottawa, thank you again for this honor.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Tim. I love the emotion on a night like this, where it is truly a celebration of not just a moment in sports, but a lifetime well lived in sports for all of the inductees tonight. We're just about wrapped up. We got about 2 little housekeeping things. So the book. Anybody wants a book, come over and visit, and I'll sign it, and the money will go back. We have one other plaque, and we haven't made a big deal out of it because the recipient did not want a big deal, and we're all wired differently, and this recipient is truly deserving. However, has lived a very shy life in the spotlight of Major League Baseball, and he truly is a shy person. I've known him a long time, and he deserves a spot in the Ottawa Sports Hall of Fame, but without recognition. And it does make sense if you know Eric Bedard. And Eric grew up just outside of Ottawa in Navan, went on to have an incredible career as a Major League Baseball pitcher. He pitched for parts of 14 seasons. For a while, he was one of the best pitchers in baseball, finished his career with more than 1,200 strikeouts, pitched for some of the great teams in baseball, including the Boston Red Sox. And again, Eric does not want the publicity, but he appreciates the importance of the legacy of having a plaque in the Ottawa Sports Hall of Fame. So we will have a 6th inductee and for Eric Bedard. So congratulations, Eric. And that just about wraps up just one quick story, and I've heard so much about how great this community is, and it's been my honor to have grown up here and been part of it for so long. But when I retired nearly 4 years ago, they had a lot of people say nice things about me, as they do when you're getting, you're kind of at the end of the road. And there was a nice tribute from James Duthie, another Ottawa guy who will one day be in this Hall of Fame, and has had a great career at TSN. And James and I worked together. We've been friends forever. And my mother, who's pushing 100 now, she said, those were really nice things. He's had a really good career. And I said, he's had a marvelous career. And she said, and you're still here. That was from my mother. With that said, I'm proud to have been part of the Ottawa community and part of the sports community for so many years. And we've got some of the best people here. We've got great athletes, great builders. Thank you for coming out tonight. We ask that all of the inductees please come up on stage. We'll take some group photos. Thanks for coming out, and we hope we can do it again next year. Good night.